All right, my friends, this is a huge issue, huge. Please, for the love of all that is good, make sure your beneficiary designations are up in order. Please make sure your beneficiary designations on your IRAs, 401ks, life insurance are in good order. And that way you want the person that you want to get the money to get the money. Just got off the horn with a guy, real nice guy out of Houston. He's been in HR for quite some time, and he was telling me that he's been in HR for a long time. And he was telling me that example after example after example of people having ex-wives, ex-spouses as beneficiary designations. And what happens is the current spouse goes to try to get the money, and he's like, we can't give them money. They're not the beneficiary, and they have to zero out everything in terms of not letting any distributions until the court can settle it. I'm telling him, and he told us time and time and time again, and people be yelling at this guy, saying, "You stealing the money from us." Look, we can't. I can't do anything about it. It's a court case, and the court is gonna find. I'm telling you right now, I've done a blog post on this, where the court will find in favor of the person who is on the beneficiary designation. Even if I did there's a case, like, I forgot, maybe it's like Minnesota or something like that, where the guy had his wife from a marriage from like 30 years ago or something like that as his beneficiary, and his other wife of the last 30 years, he just totally forgot about it. And went to court, and guess who got the money? It wasn't his wife of 30 years. His wife, when he was like, I don't know, like a teenager or something like that, he had a 2-year fling with some lady, and she got the money. Why? Because she was named his beneficiary designation. Nothing that could be done about it, because he made that choice. It wasn't her. It wasn't the ex-wife's fault. He did not take it away. It was the current wife's fault. It wasn't her fault, but she was the one who did not get the money because he forgot to update his beneficiaries. And I guarantee you, he did not want his ex-wife to get the money. I guarantee you, but he never thought about it. So please update your beneficiaries. Make sure they're updated. Do not have your estate as a beneficiary. That's the wrong answer. The estate is better than having an ex-wife or an ex-husband from 50 years ago who's smoking crack and doing all kinds of shady stuff, because at least if it's the estate, it will go through probate, and the probate court will dictate who gets the money via your will, which makes me another point. Your will does not determine who gets your money if it's in a qualified plan of life insurance. The will is completely silent on that unless you name your estate as a beneficiary. So if I name freaking Santa Claus as my beneficiary, and I have my will saying Charlotte gets everything, guess who gets my IRA with Santa Claus as the beneficiary? Santa Claus does. Why? Because my will does not speak to the disposition of the assets if the asset has a beneficiary designation. If I name, who do I can't stand? Vladimir Putin or Joseph Stalin. If I name them as my beneficiary, and I want the good guys, the capitalists, we'll say Ludwig von Mises to get my money by accident. Oh, it's Karl Marx. So there we go. I name Karl Marx as my beneficiary, and I name Ludwig von Mises as the beneficiary via my will. All right, he will be the person I want to get the money through my will. Guess who gets my money? Karl Marx. I will be then funding communism and the dastardly nature of socialistic dictatorships that have killed millions of people at the expense of Ludwig von Mises and the Austrian School of Economics, which is the purely free School of Economics. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing here. Okay. So anyway, there's a bus right there. Let me go. Okay. So make sure you name your beneficiaries. There is no getting around that. The will is silent. Your trust is silent. Your letter of instruction is silent. Your beneficiary designation will lead everything else for who gets your IRA money. Hope this makes sense. We'll see you next time.